for week 7 to 9, which is also your assessment number 4. Saka yung performance task ninyo, yung scale drawing. Yun lang naman. So, basically, same template lang din ang gagamitin ninyo. 4 na summative, 4 na assessment, tapos yung mga scores lang. Saka yung performance task number 2, yun lang. No need for you to print out yung sa performance task number 1 ninyo. Okay? Then, quiz, last quiz nyo na yung ipopost ko later. Tama, later. Plus, hindi ko pa pala naibigay sa inyo yung post test nyo last time. So, i-send ko lang din yung link ng post test ninyo. Okay, so anyway, let's start with our discussion. So, we have the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so I know narinig nyo na itong theorem na to, Pythagorean theorem. Tama? Familiar na kayo sa Pythagorean theorem? So, as a review, pag sinabi natin Pythagorean theorem, this theorem is popularized or developed by the Greek mathematician. At sinong Greek mathematician yun? Anyone? Sinong nakakakilala dun sa nag-develop ng Pythagorean theorem? Wala. So, Pythagorean theorem was developed by Pythagoras. Okay, he was a Greek mathematician who developed this theorem. Okay, so Pythagorean theorem involves a right triangle. So, as you all know, there are different kinds of anong tawag dito? There are different kinds of triangles according to angles. So meron tayong 3 kinds ng angles according to angles. We have, ano yung 3 yun? Anyone from the group? The 3 kinds of triangles according to angles. So according to angles, we have your acute triangle, obtuse triangle, we have your right triangle, and of course your equiangular triangle. Bakit? Okay, so yun, meron tayong 4 na kinds ng triangles according to angles: acute triangle, right triangle, and your equiangular triangles. So when we say right triangle, of course, you have a triangle that has 190-degree angle. Pag sinabi nating acute triangle, it is a triangle that has 3 acute angles. When we say obtuse triangle, you have a triangle that has 1 obtuse angle. And then, pag equiangular triangles, from the word equiangular, it means all the angles are equal. Okay? So, in Pythagorean theorem, it deals with a right triangle. So, the theorem states that in a right triangle, suppose we have this triangle, the sum of the square of the lengths of the legs equals the square of the length of the hypotenuse. Okay, sige. And in this figure, your A is the shorter leg, while B is the longer leg. So take note that the legs of your right triangle are the perpendicular sides of the triangle. So yung dalawang perpendicular sides ng triangle are the legs. The side opposite the 90-degree angle, which in this case is C, is the hypotenuse. Okay, so the hypotenuse is always the longest side of a triangle. So yung pinakamahabang side ng triangle sa pinakamahabang side ng right triangle is called the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is always opposite the 90-degree angle. Okay, it is always opposite the 90-degree angle. So etong formula dito na a square plus b square is equal to c square, ito yung tinatawag na Pythagorean theorem. So ayan o, sabi dito, in a right triangle, the sum of the square of the lengths of the legs. Ito yon, square of the legs. The sum of the square of the legs, a square plus b square, is equal to the square of the length of the hypotenuse, which is c. Okay, so take note, a and b are the legs. So pwedeng mag-interchange yan. Kung minsan yung b ang ginagawa nilang shorter leg, tapos yung a yung longer leg. But ang common na ginagamit for the shorter leg, ang common din na ginagamit na denotion, okay? Or the shorter leg is always denoted as A, while the longer leg is B, while the hypotenuse is always denoted as C. So sa Pythagorean theorem, ginagamit ito usually sa trigonometry, which will be our main focus pagdating ng fourth quarter. Okay? So may encounter pa rin natin itong Pythagorean theorem as we go to the fourth quarter, yung trigo natin. So Pythagorean theorem can be used in identifying the length of a missing side of a triangle. We can identify also whether the given triangle is a right triangle, obtuse, or acute triangle by using this theorem. Okay, so you need to memorize this formula. So a square plus b square is equal to c square. This is the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so example, application tayo. So using the Pythagorean theorem, find the value of x. So here, ano yung missing part ng triangle natin? Is it the leg or the hypotenuse? Ito, x. Ano yung x? What part of a triangle? Yes? Sino yung nag-raise ng hand? Hindi ko makita.
Remark po, ma'am.
Remark.
Hypotenuse po, ma'am.
Hypotenuse. Okay, so ayan. So using the Pythagorean theorem, how are you going to substitute the values, the given values? What will be our next equation? So sabi dito, of course, we need to apply the Pythagorean theorem in order for us to solve for the value of x, which is, sabi nga ni Remark, it is the hypotenuse. So what will be our next equation? Yes? Ulit?
Square root of a squared plus b squared po.
Okay. Nag-shortcut na si Remark. Okay, so...
Ma'am, yun po kasi yung napag-aralan namin sa review.
Oo. Yes. Okay, so yun. Pag sinubstitute natin, okay, usually, kagaya nga ng nabanggit ko kanina, usually yung A, siya yung ginagamit natin for shorter leg. Tapos yung B, for the longer leg. Okay, so kung gusto nyong ang i-substitute dun sa A is yung 6, yung longer leg, okay lang. It doesn't matter as long as yung C will be your hypotenuse. Okay, so substitute natin. So therefore, we have 2 square plus 6 square is equal to x square. Okay, and then after substitution, we need to simplify. Isi-simplify natin yan para maka-arrive tayo o mapunta tayo dun sa binigay na equation ni Remark. So you simply simplify this. So 2 square plus 6 square. So therefore, we have 4 plus 36. So you have 40. Then, after having this, kailangan nating extract yung square root. Okay? So pag in-extract natin yung square root ng both sides, take note that you need to give your answer in simplest radical form. So i-apply natin yung lesson natin sa radicals on how to simplify your radicals. Okay? And since length ng triangle yung pinag-uusapan, sabi natin, if we are dealing with measures of length, we are just going to give the positive value. So we need to find the positive square root. So that is square root of 40. Okay, yun yung sinabi ni Raymark. X is equal to the square root of 40. And then, simplify natin to kasi nga, sabi dito, give your answer in simplest radical. So therefore, we have, anong simplified form ng square root of 40 ulit? Square root of 40. Yes, Miel?
2 square root of 10.
2 square root of 10, yes. We have 2 square root of 10. Yun na yung value ng x natin. Okay? So, square root of 40 could be factored as square root of 4 times 10. So, kukunin natin yung highest perfect square factor ng 40. Isa lang naman ang perfect square factor ng 40 and that is 4. Okay, so you have 2 square root of 10. Okay, letter B. Letter 1B. Example 1B. Using the Pythagorean theorem, find the value of x. So this time, dalawa yung unknown values natin. Yung x, which is the hypotenuse, tama? Tapos yung x minus 2 is one of our legs. One of the legs. Of course, we are going to make use of the Pythagorean theorem. So substitute x minus 2 for A, 4 for B, and x for C. Ano ba yan? Nagsusolve kayo ah. Bakit ay? Charge kasi. Your equation should be x minus 2 raised to 2 plus 4 square is equal to x square. So, simplify na. Ba't napupunta dito? Ay, ba't nawala yung presentation ko? Sino nang nakasolve? So our equation should be like this. So simplify natin. Okay, square of, what is the square of x minus 2? Square of x minus 2 is ilan? We have yes, remark.
X squared minus 4x plus 4 po.
Okay, plus 4 square, we have
16 po.
16. So therefore, we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 16. Ito yung square. Ito, wait. Ito yung square ng x minus 2, x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 4 squared, which is 16. Okay, is equal to x squared. And then we combine similar terms or like terms. So therefore, we have, what will be our next equation? Combine like terms. We have ilan na? Yes.
Negative 4x plus 20 equals 0.
Yes, we have negative 4x plus 20 is equal to 0. And then we are just going to add 4x to both sides, or we simply transpose 4x, negative 4x to the other side. Ito na lang yung i-transpose natin para maging positive na siya. Hindi na tayo mag-deal with negative. Pero kung gusto nyo yung 20 ang ilipat nyo, okay lang din. But take note, sa math, wala talaga yung term na transposition. Okay? There is no such term as transposition sa math. Okay? Yung transpose na sinasabi natin, wala talaga yun. Technically, walang ganung term sa math. But we have the different properties of equality. So yun yung ginamit dito sa slide actually. You add 4x to both sides of the equation para makancel yung negative 4x dyan. Okay? By the use of addition property of equality. So, para makancel yun, may lipat natin dun sa kabila yung 4x. So, therefore, our x would be, what would be the value of our x? Yes.
5 po pa.
5. Okay, so if x is 5, what will be the length of the leg? Kasi yung x, di ba, yun yung sa hypotenuse, length ng hypotenuse. What will be the length of the other leg if x is 5? We have? Yes, Jeddah?
Ma'am, 3.
We have 3. Okay, we simply substitute the value of x doon sa x minus 2. So, yung other leg which will have a length of 3, while the hypotenuse will have a length of 5. Okay? Take note, pag may naka-indicate na unit of measure doon sa given, you write your final answer with a correct unit of measure also. Okay? In this case, wala namang unit of measure dyan, so pwede na yan as is na. Okay? Another example. Find the value of x. Ilang minutes kailangan nyo? Madali na yan. 1 minute. Yes, Raymart.
Ma'am, 4
Come again.
squared of 5 po.
Okay, so check natin. So first, we need to identify the parts, the given parts. So 4 and 8 are the legs, while x is the hypotenuse. So substitute natin yung mga given doon sa Pythagorean theorem natin. Again, kagaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, pwedeng mag-interchange yung values na isa-substitute natin dun sa A and B, but never for C. Okay? So, pwedeng 8 square plus 4 square ang gawin nyo dyan, pero dapat yung x, which is sa hypotenuse, should always be doon sa C. Okay? So, simplify. So, we have 80 is equal to x squared kasi 16 plus 64 to. So, you have 80. Then, take the square root, positive square root at that. So, we have square root of 80. Since 80 is not a perfect square, so it is not in its simplified form, I should say. So, we need to simplify our radical. So, therefore, we have 4 square root of 5. Okay? Okay, last for this example, for this problem. Find the value of x given x plus 4, x, and 12. So you are given the hypotenuse and the leg as terms that has a variable of x. So what will be the value of our x? We are asked to give the missing length of the leg. So leg. Leg yung hinahanap ngayon. Ano yung isa-substitute natin doon sa C? 12x or x plus 4?
Ma'am, x plus 4.
Yes, x plus 4. Done na. Okay, sabi ni Jeda 16. So check natin kung tama yung 16. Saan? Okay, so x squared plus 12 squared is equal to the square of x plus 4. So therefore, we should have x squared plus 144 is equal to x squared plus 8x plus 16. Okay, ayun yung product ng square ng x plus 4. X squared plus 8x plus 16. Next is to combine the like terms or the similar terms. So, magka-cancel ito yung x squared and x squared sa left and right side. Tapos, transpose natin si positive 16 sa kabila. So, you are going to have 144 minus 16 is equal to 8x. So, therefore, we are going to have 128 is equal to 8x. And then, divide both sides by 8. So, therefore, x is equal to 16. Okay, so if x is 16, what will be the length of our hypotenuse? Yes, we have. Remark?
12, ma'am.
Okay, we have 20. Ay, oh, tama. 16 plus 4, so we have 20. Okay, so let us have an application sample problem for the Pythagorean theorem. So, sabi dito sa problem, Randy is building a rectangular picture frame. He wants the ratio of the length to the width to be 3:1 and the diagonal to be 12 centimeters. How wide should the frame be? So, round to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So, ano ba yung mga given? Ano muna yung mga given? So if you are going to have a rectangular picture frame, yung 3, dito sa ratio natin na 3:1, ibig sabihin yung 3, yan yung length natin. Tama? Kasi di ba sa dimension, usually ang longer side is the length. Tapos yung shorter side is usually the width. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ito, yung 3:1 is the ratio of the length to the width. So, 3 yung length, 1 yung width niya. Okay? Yung diagonal, if you are going to draw the diagonal, makakabuo tayo dun sa rectangle, makakabuo tayo ng right triangle. Because if you are going to recall, dun sa properties ng rectangle natin, all the angles of a rectangle is 90 degrees. So if you're going to draw a diagonal, you form two congruent triangles, and those triangles are right triangle. So yung diagonal will become the hypotenuse of our triangle, and 3 will be the length of the triangle leg, the longer leg, while 1 would be the shorter leg. Yun yung ratio ng legs ng triangle na natin, yung 3:1. So, we are asked to determine how wide should be the frame. Okay? Kung gaano daw, ano yung length ng width nung frame, nung rectangular frame. So we are going to let L and W, of course, the length and width in centimeters of the picture frame, the rectangular frame. Okay, so we can have length is equal to 3W. Okay, ni-replace natin yung width dito by 1. So length would become 3W. Then by applying the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Yung c squared, yun yung 12, yun yung diagonal natin. Tapos, sabi ko nga, yung shorter leg and longer leg, pwede nyong i-substitute sa A or B. Pwedeng mag-interchange. So, you can substitute W doon sa A square, or you can also have it as 3W. Okay? So, yan. So, in this case, 3W is for A, W is for B, and 12 for C. So, therefore, we have square of 3W plus W square is equal to 12 square. So, simplify natin yan. We multiply and combine similar terms. So 3W square, we have, this should be 9W square. Tama? Square of 3W. So magiging 9W square na to. Plus W square, we have 10W square. So it is equal to 12 square. 12 square is 144. So therefore, we have 10W square. Then divide both sides by 10 para ma-cancel out yung kasama ni W square dyan. So therefore, we have 144 over 10. So W square is equal to 144 over 10. We extract the square root, taking the positive square root lang. So therefore, we have ilan? What is the square root of 144 over 10? Take note na doon sa problem, you are asked to round your answers to the nearest tenth. So, pwede nating decimal. Pwedeng decimal yung answer natin. Round off to the nearest tenth. Sa fourth quarter pala, especially yung mga a-attend ng face-to-face class, make sure that you are going to have your scientific calculators. Paki-prepare na lang yung scientific calculators ninyo kasi sa trigonometry, it is a must that you have your scientific calculators. Para hindi nyo na i-memorize yung logarithmic table. So, square root of 144 over 10, yes, Jeda?
Ma'am, 3.8 centimeter.
Yes, very good. So, you have 3.8 centimeters. Okay, naka-round off na. So, take note pag nag-round off kayo, hindi equal sign ang gagamitin nyo ha. You make use of this symbol. Okay, especially pag hindi siya exact yung decimal na lumabas. Ibig sabihin naka-round off lang yung final answer ninyo. So, kagaya ng nabanggit ko, you need to attach or write the correct unit of measure doon sa final answer ninyo. Okay? Another example. Ayan. So according to the recommended safety ratio of 4:1, how high will a 30-foot ladder reach when placed against a wall? Round to the nearest inch. So ayan, meron tayong figure dito. So kung ito yung building natin, okay, nandito yung ladder. So pag nilagay natin yung ladder, place natin yung ladder doon sa wall, makaka-form tayo ng right triangle, I should say. So from the foot of the ladder to the base of the wall, yun yung shorter leg natin, pero ang ginamit dito B. Okay? So B. Yung top ng ladder, yung end ng ladder, tapos yung height ng kung gaano kataas yung naabot ng ladder doon sa building, yun yung A. Yun yung isang leg ng right triangle. Yung ladder, siya yung nagsilbing diagonal ng right triangle natin. So we are going to let X be the distance in feet from the foot of the ladder to the base of the wall. So ito, yung B, yung nakikita nyo ba? So from the foot of the ladder to the base of the wall, yun yung X natin. We are going to let it be our X. Okay? Tapos, yung distance ng feet ng ladder, o top ng ladder, I should say, to the base of the wall, magmula dyan, dun sa tip ng ladder, pinakataas niya, tapos hanggang dyan, sa base ng wall, sa baba, will be our A, or 4x. The longer leg. Kasi dito sabi, 4:1. So, 4x. Yung 30, yun yung, anong tawag dito? Diagonal. Yun yung length ng ladder from end to end. So naturally, yung answer natin dito, kailangan nating i-convert sa inches, yung final answer. Kasi sabi dito, round to the nearest inch. And there are, how many inches are there in 1 foot? Ilang inches meron sa isang foot? We have
12 po.
We have 12. So let us use the Pythagorean theorem. So we substitute 4x kasi yung nandoon sa figure natin kanina, yung A, yun yung 4x. Tapos yung B, yun yung x. And of course, C, yung diagonal, yun yung length ng ladder na 30. So we should have square of 4x plus x square is equal to 30 square. So multiply and combine like this. Sino yun? Yes. Jeddah.
Ma'am, 17x squared is equal to 900.
Yes, we have 17x squared is equal to 900. Then, divide natin both sides, tama? So, therefore, yan yung magiging result. Okay, then extract the square root. Yes.
Ma'am,
Daniel?
7.28.
7.28. Okay? So, the distance, take note na yung etong 7.28 is still in feet. Okay? Nasa feet pa yan. So, hindi pa yan yung final answer natin. So, we need to convert this into inches. Okay, so since 4x is the distance in feet from top of the ladder to the base of the wall, okay, so 4x. So 4 times 7.28, so we have 29 feet and 1 inches. Kasi yung 4:1 kanina na binigay na ratio, that is the ratio of the leg, okay, in inches. Naka-scale siya. Kung natatandaan nyo yung lesson natin last time, yung sa scale, okay, it is in inches. So we just have to multiply 7.28 by 4. Ibig sabihin, for every 1 foot on the given, it is equivalent to 4 inches. Okay. May questions po? So ito yung final answer natin. 29 feet and 1 inches. Kung wala yung given ratio, you just simply multiply 7.28 by 12. But since meron tayong may binigay na ratio kanina, then you just simply multiply it by 4. Okay. So, my questions before we go to the next one. Ay, nakuha din yung ano pala, 29. Okay, so let us have the next one, the Pythagorean triple. Okay, so when we say Pythagorean triple, this is a set of 3 non-zero whole numbers. Take note, 3 non-zero whole numbers, A, B, and C. That will satisfy the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so a set of 3 non-zero whole numbers A, B, and C such that A square plus B square is equal to C square is called the Pythagorean triple. Yung iba, triple. Okay lang, pareho lang yan. Di naman ako English teacher. Kahit anong pag-pronounce nyo dyan, okay lang. Basta tama yung spelling. Okay, so these are the 4 common Pythagorean triples. 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, and 13. 8, 15, and 17, and 7, 24, and 25. So, ito yung mga most common Pythagorean triples. So, using these Pythagorean triples, pwede nating i-determine whether you have an acute, right, or obtuse triangle. And also, by using these Pythagorean triples, we can identify the length of the missing side of our right triangle. Okay? But actually, this is still derived from the Pythagorean theorem. Kaya yung mga susunod na examples, madali na kasi ginamit na natin kanina. So, halimbawa dito. Find the missing side length. Tell if the side lengths form a Pythagorean triple. So, we have 14 and 48. Anong part ng right triangle tong mga to? Are they legs or are they hypotenuse? Obvious naman na legs sila, di ba? Oh, so anong missing dito? Ano yung missing side length? If these are the legs, ibig sabihin, ito, yung walang length, is the hypotenuse. So again, the side opposite the 90-degree angle is your hypotenuse. Ayan, may nakalagay explain. So apply natin yung Pythagorean theorem, yung A square plus B square is equal to C square. So, since unknown yung C, pwede nating i-bring down lang yan. Kung gusto nyong palitan yan ng X, pwede rin. Okay? While 14 and 48, pwede nyong i-substitute yung 14 dun sa shorter, dun sa A, tapos yung 48 dun sa B. Like what I have said, ang common na representation para sa shorter leg is A, tapos yung B, yung longer leg. Okay? Yun lang yung common na ginagamit or ginagamit to represent the shorter leg, yung A. But nonetheless, pareho lang din yan. Shorter or longer leg, they are just the same. Lalo na pag you have an isosceles right triangle. So therefore, we have 14 square plus 48 square. So is equal to C square. So therefore, what would be our C square? Ilan? Yes? Jeda?
Ma'am, 2,500.
Okay, we have 2,500. Take the square root for us to identify the value of C.
50 po.
50. Okay, so C is equal to 50. Okay, so the side lengths are non-zero whole numbers. So ito yung explanation. So tell if the side lengths form a Pythagorean triple. So Pythagorean triple yung 50, 14, and 48. Why? Because they are all non-zero. Non-zero numbers sila. And they are also whole numbers. So therefore, they are Pythagorean triples. Okay? How about this one? Given yung isang leg at saka yung hypotenuse. Yung longer leg ang missing. So, para consistent tayo, let us use A for the shorter leg, tapos yung B, longer leg. Para pare-pareho tayo ang gamitin. Ano yung isa-substitute natin dun sa C?
Ma'am, 12 po. 12 po yung isa-substitute sa C.
Very good. So, dapat ganito yung equation nyo. You should have 4 square plus B square is equal to 12 square. Yes? Cyrone? Asa naman to? Mapindot. Dapat pag napindot, sagot agad. Cyrone, may hindi ka pa nasasagutan na quiz. Remind ko lang yung mga hindi, may 4 na kayong quiz. Kaya dapat 4 na yung quiz na nasagutan ninyo. Check nyo yung classroom. Pag may pending kayo, sagutan nyo na. So far, nung nag-record ako, may 2 quiz na hindi pa nasagutan si Cyrone. Hindi ko pa na-record yung quiz number 4. Meron ding isa yata si Bell. Sino pa yun? May isa pang...
Ma'am, kahapon sinagutan ko po yung quiz number 4.
Oh, may yung number 3. Nasagutan mo na? Joey, number 4. Hindi mo pa yata nasagutan. Raven, Lawrence. Kailan ba ako nag-record? Nung Monday yata ako nag-record eh. So, check nyo na lang yung mga na-miss nyong quizzes. Para sa Holy Week, wala na kayong gagawin. Jeddah, yes.
Transform 4 squared. So, ang sagot ay b squared is equal to 128.
Yes. So, therefore, what will be B?
Ang simplified form po ng square root of 120 is 8 square root of 2.
Yes. So, B is equal to 8 square root of 2. Okay, now, tell if the side lengths form a Pythagorean triple. Pythagorean triple ba yung lumabas? Are 4, 12, and 8 square root of 2 Pythagorean triples? Yes or no? Yes. Miel.
Ma'am, no po.
Why?
Ma'am, hindi po kasi siya whole number.
Alin?
Yung 8 square root of 2.
Yes. Basically, yun. Yun yung sagot. The side lengths do not form a Pythagorean triple because 8 square root of 2 is not a whole number. Okay? Non-zero nga, kaya lang hindi whole number yung lumabas na B. So, hindi siya Pythagorean triple. Though they are sides of a right triangle. Okay? Okay. So, another 8 and 10. Ano yung missing dito? Yes. Raymark? Raymark?
Hypotenuse po, ma'am,
Ay.
or yung variable c po.
Yes, yung variable c or yung hypotenuse. So therefore, what will be our equation for this one? Miel?
8 squared plus 10 squared equals 6 squared.
So therefore, we have Jeddah.
164 is equal to c squared.
So therefore, what will be the value of our c? Sino yun?
Mama ko.
Or Jeddah?
C is equal to 2 square root of 41.
Okay, so we have c is equal to 2 square root of 41. So of course, kagaya dun sa previous na example natin, yung kanina lang, this pair of numbers or group of numbers are not Pythagorean triples. Tama? Because they are not whole number. Itong C, yung value ng C natin is not a whole number. Okay? So, skip na natin yung isa pa. Skip natin yan. Okay na yan. Let us have saglit. Punta na tayo dun sa converse. Let us have the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Okay? Wait. May chat yung school nurse. Okay, so ayan. So the converse of Pythagorean theorem. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina na using the Pythagorean theorem, we can identify whether your triangle, if it is not a right triangle, we can identify if it is an acute triangle or an obtuse triangle. So the converse of the Pythagorean theorem gives you a way to tell if the triangle is a right triangle when you know the side lengths. So aside from that, pwede din natin identify kung right o kung acute or obtuse nga. Okay, so if the sum of the squares of the lengths of two sides of a triangle is equal to the square of the length of the third side, then the triangle is a right triangle. So kung natatandaan nyo yung lesson nyo nung grade 8, di ba? Pag-aralan nyo yung mga iba't ibang kinds of proof. Okay, yung anong tawag doon, yung converse, ano pa yun, contrapositive, ano pa, di ba 4 yun? Nakalimutan ko na. Basta, ito, yung converse ng Pythagorean theorem. Kung yung Pythagorean theorem tells you that in a right triangle, the sum of the squares of the lengths of two sides of a triangle is equal to the square of the length of the third side, ito namang converse, ay pinagbaliktad lang yung if and then statement natin. Okay? So, yung hypothesis natin, ito yon. Yung if a square plus b square is equal to c square, then our triangle is a right triangle. So both the converse of the Pythagorean theorem and the Pythagorean theorem are both true statement. Hindi sila, yung converse ng Pythagorean theorem is not false statement. Kasi there are some theorems na pag kinuha mo yung converse niya, it would become a false statement. So, sa case ng Pythagorean theorem, its converse is a true statement. Okay? Ayan. So, you can also use side lengths to classify a triangle as acute or obtuse. So, if c square is equal to a square plus b square, then the triangle is an obtuse triangle. Okay? So, in this case, ito yon. Ayan, may figure tayo. So, if c square is greater than a square plus b square, then triangle ABC is an obtuse triangle. Bakit? Kasi mag-i-increase din yung angle C. So, kung sa Pythagorean theorem, if c squared, or converse of the Pythagorean theorem, if c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, then your triangle ABC is a right triangle by the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Kaya yung C natin is a right triangle. But if c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, then triangle ABC is an obtuse triangle kasi mag-i-increase yung measurement ng angle C. So from 90 degrees, magiging more than 90 degrees na siya. Also, if c square is less than a square plus b square, then yung angle C natin from 90 degrees, magiging less na siya. Magdi-decrease. Okay, magdi-decrease yung angle C natin from 90, it will become less than 90 degrees. So, anong theorem ang magso-support dito sa dalawang to? Okay? They actually can be proven by the converse of the Hinge theorem. So, you go back to the different theorems that you have discussed nung nasa grade 8 kayo. So, yung converse ng Hinge theorem will apply to these two. Kung bakit mag-i-increase at magdi-decrease yung angle C natin. Okay? So, next. Punta tayo sa application. Skip natin. Ayan. Remember. Ayan. Take note that by the triangle inequality theorem, kasi gagamitin natin to maya-maya, the sum of any two side lengths of a triangle is greater than the third side length. Okay? So, before proceeding or before applying the converse of the Pythagorean theorem, halimbawa, pinapa-identify sa inyo kung anong klaseng triangle yung given measures, i-apply nyo muna yung triangle inequality theorem. Okay? You take the sides, two length of the two sides of your triangle, i-add ninyo kung yung sum is greater than the third side. Okay, kung mas malaki yung measurement or yung sum na nakuha ninyo kesa dun sa largest measurement na given, then you can decide or you can say that the given length are sides of a triangle. Saka kayo mag-proceed, saka nyo i-identify kung acute ba siya or obtuse or right yung triangle. Okay, so for example, ayan. Tell if the measures can be the side lengths of a triangle. So if so, classify the triangle as acute, obtuse, or right. So for example, ito, 5, 7, and 10. So these given measurements are they possible sides of a triangle? So dito papasok yung triangle inequality theorem. Itong theorem na to. Yung triangle inequality theorem. So, kunin natin yung dalawang maliit na measures. Okay? Kasi ibig sabihin yung 10, 5, 7, and 10, if these are possible sides of a triangle, yung 10, yun yung isa-substitute natin sa C, the longest side. So, take the sum of 5 and 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. Tama? So, 12 is greater than the third side, which is 10. So, ibig sabihin, these three measures are possible measurements of a triangle, sides of the triangle. So this is actually the step 1, the first step. Determine if the measures form a triangle. So by the triangle inequality theorem, 5, 7, and 10 can be the side lengths of a triangle. Why? Because 5 plus 7, 12 is greater than 10. So if they are possible sides of a triangle, pwede na tayong mag-proceed, pwede na nating i-classify kung acute, obtuse, or right ba yung triangle. Pwede na nating mag-proceed sa step 2, that is to classify the triangle. So, i-compare natin yung C square sa sum ng A square plus B square by applying the Pythagorean theorem or the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Okay? So, ayan. C square, is it equal to A square plus B square? Kaya nga nilagyan natin ng equal sign dyan kasi, ng question mark dyan sa tapat ng equal sign kasi hindi natin sure kung equal ba yung C square doon sa sum ng A square plus B square. Okay? So, i-compare pa lang natin. So, kung greater yan, kung greater yung C square kesa doon sa A square plus B square, then your triangle is obtuse. Kung equal naman yung left and right side ng equation natin, then you have a right triangle. Pero kung less than naman, C square is less than A square plus B square, then you have an acute triangle. Okay, so take note na yung longest or the greatest number among the group will be substituted to C. Yun yung isa-substitute natin dun sa C. Ayan, so substitute the longest side for C. So therefore, we could have 10 square is equal to 5 square plus 7 square. So simplify lang natin. So therefore, we have 10 square is 100 is equal to 5 square, 25 plus 49. Ayan, so therefore, we have 100. Is it equal to 74? Tama? 74 ba to? 25 plus 49, 74. Tama? So, anong inequality ang i-apply natin? Greater or lesser?
Greater.
Greater. So, 100 is greater than 74. So, therefore, what kind of triangle do we have? Yes, Raymark?
Obtuse po, ma'am.
Yes, we have an obtuse triangle since c square is greater than a square plus b square. Okay? Next. Five, 8, 17. So first step, identify muna natin yung kung itong measurements na to are possible measures of the length of a triangle. Length of the sides of a triangle. So sides ba ng triangles ito? Possible sides of a triangle yung 5, 8, and 17.
No, ma'am.
No. Yes, no. Kasi i-add natin yung 5 and 8. Tama? Ito yung dalawang shortest side. 5 and 8. So 5 plus 8 is 13.
13.
Tama? Oh, 13 is less than 17. By the triangle inequality theorem, dapat mas greater yung sum nung dalawa kesa dun sa third side. In this case, 13 is less than 17. So, ibig sabihin, these measurements are not sides of a triangle, not side lengths of a triangle. So, hindi na tayo mag-proceed dun sa step 2. Hindi natin makla-classify kung kung acute or obtuse or right. Ayan. So since 5 plus 8 is equal to 13 and 13 is not equal to 17, this cannot be the side lengths of a triangle. So yun. Wala nang step 2. Next. Seven, 12, and 16. Are they possible sides of a triangle? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So therefore, we can proceed to step 2. Kasi 7 plus 12 is 19. 19 is greater than 16. So yes, by the triangle inequality theorem, the side lengths of a triangle, they are side lengths of a triangle. So we can classify them. So anong klaseng triangle yan? Ano yung mga length? 7, 12, and 16. Ayan, 7, 12, 16. Take note, yung 16, yun yung i-replace natin dun sa C. Sino yun? Jeddah?
Ma'am, obtuse triangle.
Why?
Kasi po, 16 squared is 256. Tapos, yung 12 squared plus 7 squared is equal to 193. At ang sign is greater than 256 is greater than
Yes, so-
193.
Yes, so therefore it is, or the triangle is obtuse. Okay? Nakuha nyo din? Okay, let us have this one. Oh, so basta ang first step ninyo, tignan nyo muna kung pwede siyang side ng triangle. So, eto ba? Possible sides of triangle? Yes?
Ma'am, no po.
Yes, no, why?
Ma'am, because 11 plus 18 is equals to 29, which is not greater than
Yes.
34.
So, it is not greater than 34. It is less than 34. Okay? How about this? O sige, gawin nyo muna yan. Tawagan ko lang si Ma'am Edna. Wait lang. So, sides ba ng triangle yan? Yung 3.8, 4.1, and 5.2?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, we can proceed to step 2. Yes, kasi 3.8 plus 4.1, that is 7.9. It is greater than 5.2. So next na lang is for us to classify whether the given measures are sides of an acute, right, or obtuse triangle. Ben, wala kad school? Nalam lang may papaalanan Ma'am ni Risa. Kaya lang pa may gawami ta isamar mo la dyan abong. Sige. Samar mo ah. Thanks. Tani man. Oo. Tani may online class ako. Oo. Taragtula. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Palistakad ko. Isamaran mo yung jari ah. Ha? Supa, kulan mo? Ano bang meron? Yung crackers. Sige na, Tani, may online class ako. Wait. Sige. Thanks. Oo, sige. Salamat. Okay na, may sagot na, Jeddah.
Ma'am, the triangle is acute because 27.04 is less than 31.25.
Okay. Ayun. Okay na. Tama yung binigay niya na data, na answer. 27.04 is less than 31.25. So therefore, the triangle is acute. Okay, my question. Wala na. Next it ko na. Punta tayo sa next.